Like any popular franchise, Cars has a plethora of its own themed board games, whether those be original board games based off of the Cars franchise or Cars versions of pre-existing games like Monopoly. A bunch of them exist, and a whole lot of them have some pretty interesting aspects, whether that be strange looking pieces, strange designs, or just all around weird concepts. So today, we're going to take a look at them. Anyway guys, welcome back to yet another video, and to Weird Products Game Edition. Now before we get started with today's episode of Weird Products, I just want to let you guys know that the next episode of Weird Products is going to be the first ever Viewer's Choice Edition, where I will be doing an episode where I exclusively look at things suggested to me by you guys. So if there are any Weird Cars products that you'd like me to look at all, regardless of, what character they're of or what type of item they are, definitely leave it in the comments and I might take a look at it in the next episode. Anyway, let's get started. Now let's start off with, of course, Cars Monopoly. Now, I quite enjoy Monopoly, despite the fact that the games run for incredibly long amounts of time, several hours and hours and hours long, and that could all be for nothing when you land on a chance card that tells you that you have to start paying a bunch of extra money for every single hotel that you have on your buildings, meaning that you go bankrupt in one turn just because of a chance card. I'm sorry, that's happened to me on more than one occasion. In Sesame Street Monopoly. No joke! Sesame Street Monopoly is a lot crueler than you may think. Anyway, unlike Sesame Street Monopoly, for Cars 3, they did Monopoly Junior, whose Amazon description probably explains it best. Like the classic Monopoly game, but easier for kids. Wait a second. $64? The Cars 3 Monopoly Junior is $64? Oh, or of course I could pay $10.67 a month for 6 months, interest-free upon approval for the Amazon Rewards Visa card. This Amazon listing is weird. Look at this. Brand, Monopoly, genre, money. Yes, money, my favorite genre. Yo, hey, what type of movie you want to watch tonight? Money! Basically, long story short, Monopoly Junior is just a easier version of Monopoly made for younger kids. Makes perfect sense, and I think that the Cars 3 Monopoly is pretty normal, although its Amazon listing certainly isn't. It's not really the Cars 3 Monopoly Junior that I wanted to talk about here today, though. Instead, I wanted to talk about Cars 2 Monopoly, which is certainly odd. The first thing you'll notice about it is the fact that it has a circular board. That's right, compared to your traditional Monopoly, the Cars 2 Monopoly is circular, and it certainly seems pretty odd, but it's not just circular for no reason. There is a reason behind why it's circular, and that is because, no joke, the game does not include a die, and instead, you roll a Lightning McQueen around the outer rim of the board, and he tells you what number to land on. So instead of rolling the dice, you are spinning Lightning McQueen around, which I think is just absolutely hilarious. But what I find even funnier is the fact that the box labels the game as Lightning McQueen Racetrack Game. Yes, Monopoly, the Lightning McQueen Racetrack Game. Guys, Monopoly and Racetrack Game are just complete polar opposites, okay? The fact that they made Lightning be basically your spinner for the game doesn't make it into a Lightning McQueen Racetrack Game. Just because you're rolling him around doesn't suddenly make it into this exhilarating, thrilling racetrack game. It's still Monopoly. You're just rolling the dice in a different way. Also, I just realized that you're buying cars in this Cars 2 Monopoly Junior. Yeah, you're buying the Cars characters, whereas in Cars 3, like normal Monopoly, you are buying different areas from the movie. Which is really strange because, Cars 2 is the one where they go all around the world, so you think they would have enough content to allow you to be able to buy different locations, but no. Guess it just wasn't exciting enough for Lightning McQueen Racetrack Game, huh? Up next, let's talk about Uno, another very famous game that has several Cars variants of it. On screen now, you're seeing the Cars 3 Uno, But there's actually a variant of Uno for each of the three Cars movies. In fact, I believe that there are actually multiples for some of the movies. Like, some of the movies have more than one version of Uno. While the Cars 1 and Cars 3 versions both included major characters on their cards, I think they made really good choices for who was on the cards, just sort of the main primary characters of the movie, and then a few others. The Cars 2 version definitely had some interesting choices for who they featured on cards, such as Bruno Motoro, Giuseppe Motorsi, Mel Dorado, and Vladimir Trunkov. How did these guys get onto Uno cards? These are such random choices. Several of them didn't even speak. Like the crew chiefs, I kind of get it, but it's just so odd for me to see Vladimir Trunkov and Mel Dorado on pieces of merchandise that isn't just like a diecast of them. Savor it while it lasts, guys. This will probably be the only time you ever see Mel Dorado or Vladimir Trunkov in an episode of Weird Products. Also, by the way, this version of Cars 2 Uno features a picture of Cars 1 McQueen on the box, despite being made for Cars 2. Just thought I'd mention that. Guys, my favorite part of Cars 3 is when Lightning and Cruz go to Thunder Hollow, and, they're stuck there. They have no way out. They're trying to escape Thunder Hollow, and, of course, as we all know, Thunder Hollow is just this giant muddy pit, and Lightning and Cruz get cloned alongside RV, right? And they all fall into this giant muddy pit, and this giant magnetic hook has to come in and fish them all out. That is such a classic scene. This is the Escape from Thunder Hollow game. Yeah. Didn't know how to transition from my joke to actually showing you guys what this is and explaining it. Yeah, you see, this is a pretty popular type of game. You've probably seen it before with fish. These little fish that sort of jump up and down as this thing spins around, and you have to put a fishing pole in and pick them up, grab them out of it. I actually used to have a few versions of this game when I was little. I had a Toy Story Alien version, and I had a Cars tire fishing game. There we go, we found a weird product in this video that I actually used to have. Now, unfortunately, I no longer have it, but honestly, I think tire fishing is quite normal by comparison when you take a look at this Escape from Thunder Hollow game. You have this magnetic hook, and you have to fish Lightning, Cruz, and RV, of which there are several of each, out of this. Look, they make these games all the time. I guess they're pretty easy to make. There are an absolute ton of versions of this sort of game. Now, it's not like a name brand game like Monopoly is, but still, there are a lot of different versions of it. If you wanted to do one based on Cars 3, you were really better off with doing tire fishing again, because this is just... what is this? Now we're moving on to our final two types of games. And let me just say, guys, this is a warning, okay? Everything before now has been child's play compared to what you're about to see. Usually in Weird Products, we see some very strange looking items. Today, I'd say that they haven't really been strange looking. These games have just had weird aspects of them, or the game itself has just been kind of strange. But our final few items here, these are pretty cursed looking. Let's start off with Cars Trouble, or as it apparently is known internationally, Frustration. I didn't know that. If we got any viewers here from outside of the US who's familiar with this game, definitely let me know. I didn't know that it was called Frustration. I'm not sure where. Now, once again, the Cars 3 version of the game is pretty normal. Aside from the fact that on the box, APB is the blue piece and T-Bone is the black piece, but in the actual game, APB is the black piece and T-Bone is the blue piece. Just a weird thing that I noticed while researching this video. But anyway, yeah, once again, the Cars 3 version of Trouble is pretty normal. It is once again the Cars 2 version that's really strange. I guess by the time Cars 3 came out, they decided to just go with more traditional versions of the game, for all of these games it seems. Kind of ditching gimmicks, although they do have their own unique things. For example, you can see Trouble here features a Miss Fritter piece in some way. Not sure how that factors in. I know that the Uno box also said it includes unique rules for the Cars 3 version, But yeah, it seems that the Cars 2 ones are the stranger looking ones. Now, Trouble has this pretty unique feature where you push down on this little bubble in the middle of the board, which rolls the dice for you instead of you, rolling the dice in your hands. And the Cars 2 version of this game decided to apply that gimmick in a very interesting way. They turned it into Mater. And they even made official artwork of it too for the box. What is going on here? Is this the bad ending of Cars 2? Is this what happens when the lemons catch Mater? Is this what happens after Mater explodes because they can't deactivate the bomb? They just build a glass dome around him and they just put dice in there? Is that what happens? Is this like the dark deleted ending? Seriously, I really don't know what to say with this. This is Trouble Game with Mater, and Mater is certainly there, alright. And it is just so odd. Definitely one of the weirdest looking things here, I think. And the fact that there's artwork of Mater as the Trouble Dome thing also makes it strange. And finally, let's talk about Sorry Sliders. Now, Sorry has pretty distinctly shaped game pieces, and Sorry Sliders is a different version of the game where the pieces slide around. They have marbles on their bottoms. They're actually incredibly similar to the Cars Micro Drifter products. Now, there's actually only one version of Cars Sorry Sliders, which, of course, is the Cars 2 version. And once you see how terrifying this turned out, you'll know why they didn't do a version for Cars 3. Well, I guess Halloween came early this year, huh? Because these are absolutely terrifying. Look at Lightning! Look at him! And yes, the actual game pieces included do look like this. They've adapted the Cars characters into the Sorry pieces. This could have worked, honestly. It could have. Like I said, these are basically the exact same thing as the Micro Drifters, except, the Micro Drifters are car-shaped. So I'm sure the game was fun. I like how they made the board into a racetrack. But, the best thing you could have done here was not make it a Sorry game and make it some sort of game with the Micro Drifters. Because, the end result here is absolutely terrifying. And now I want them to say sorry to me for creating this, because I don't think I'm ever going to sleep again after seeing that Lightning Sorry piece. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Weird Products. Of course, the board game edition. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been one of the most fun episodes for me to make. There are a lot of other Cars games out there, so maybe I'll do a part 2. If you have any suggestions for anything you'd like me to cover in the viewer's request or viewer's choice episode of Weird Products coming out soon, definitely leave them in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.